I was going to say.
What
That
kind
was
of strain were
By
you
weed,
on?
by weed, do you mean acid?
Never. This was pure weed
That's
back in the
incredible.
day.
Did you do it when you were on Saturday Night Live, like the come up in comedy all those years?
Yeah.
I've
Matter
heard
of fact,
stories
there
about
was
that. A lot of blow involved.
there was no blow in our cast. It
No.
was all weed
Oh,
and maybe boozing. But
Usually weed and booze goes along with the creativity, right? I mean, weed, a lot of people do it. Like, it's,
I
at the
started
store,
doing-
there's weed all.
I started doing numb myself.
Because why? You weren't happy?
Oh, it's frustrating. It's a tough, frustrating environment. It was
In Saturday Night
very-
Live?
The environment is really.
It's cutthroat.
It's a pressure cooker, right? Like some people love it and some people hate it.
I loved it. It's just, it's not the easiest for a comedian.
because you're up working on
at-
whether monkey or midget is a funnier word. You're carving out every sketch, right? You're fighting for your characters.
You're fighting for your characters. You're working on things on stage. You know it works on stage.
Yeah.
And then you come back and you got 40. You're competing with 14 people trying to write to get their thing on.
Yep.
With 10, 15 cast members trying to get their thing on.
Go to his cast, Jen, on Saturday Night Live.
But it was one of the greatest times I ever had in my whole life.
And then
Yeah.
when something like Goat Boy goes freaking, just the
Nuts
biggest
up.
thing ever. Were you a little like, because they were using a lot more, were you kind of like, come on, let's do something else, or did you love it?
No, to be honest with you, I hate repetition.
That's
It
what I'm
drives me
saying.
absolutely
Yeah.
nuts. So, but once in a while, Lorne would go, Jim, we could really use the goat this week. And I'd go, "Oh."
But dude, can I be honest with you? So that was my second year of Mad TV. We'd come back. We were like, we're gonna beat SNL.
Right.
And it was that one. It was so you guys opened. It was the first time you ever did Goat Boy, and it was when Tom Hanks was
Tom
a guest.
Hanks.
Bro.
That was the first
and
one.
as somebody, we were all sat around as a cast to watch you guys. And when
you
Mary
play that
Shear,
shit
the
or
great
no?
Mary, I'm working with Tim Meadows right now, by the way.
I love him. Tell him I said hello.
I'm doing Schooled with him. That's one of
Can
my
you
favorite
play him
people.
on Goat Boy or no?
I'm sure, yeah. I mean,
So, dude, I'm telling you right now, Jim, we were all sitting around. Here we were, ready for the next season, and you guys got on. It was one of the greatest episodes. Dude, you
was
have to.
so big.
Well, you
It
know
was
what's
one of the-
weird?
That episode, the way you opened, is one of the greatest episodes ever. And all of us kind of hung our heads when I saw Goat Bill. Mary Shear, the great Mary Shear, a growling killer,
at him there.
started laughing so hard. We were laughing so fucking hard. It was so outrageous, man. And you were drinking from the. Oh my God! And we were like, "Well, we're done. We're fucked. We're never going to compete with these guys. They're just too good."
Well, two things. One is you're not going to find a Goat
There you
Boy
go.
sketch with Tom Hanks.
no, I'm saying there you go.
That was the
Live
first.
is good at
All the Goat Boys are missing.
why?
I have no clue. The actual sketches of Goat Boy with the Tom Hanks and the Pamela Anderson and all that. I don't know why.
The Tom
can't
Hanks
find
one
them?
was incredible.
Every single one of them is just missing. They're gone.
Well,
You can't go on SNL site. You can't go on NBC site.
Why didn't Saturday Night Live release them?
I
They
have
them.
zero clue. I think it's the only character
That's terrible.
where it's nowhere.
such a
So
bummer.
because my kids were trying to look for this
They
thing,
haven't seen it.
and they were like, "You worked with Tom Hanks?" I'm like, "Yeah, this goat thing." They're like, what?
It was such an amazing.
Tom Hanks
episode.
laughed. So he
Just
He
the
laughs.
Lisa Kudrow
Wait,
ones on.
he was laughing.
laughed so hard, but it wasn't supposed to be that. By the way, I was
goat one?
actually aggravated what the sketch turned into. it actually. It actually
so
pissed me
fucking
off.
So stupid that you get carried away.
So great.
Look at him eating.
He's eating the fucking.
And they have to they're tasing you. They're tasing you. I'm sorry. It's so stupid.
so great.
Man,
It's
you're
so
trying to stay
far
calm,
out
and all of a sudden you're.
And you know what? I've pitched it as a guy with Tourette's. That's how I pitched it. I want to do a guy with Tourette's, but his Tourette's is a goat noise. And originally, this is true. And originally I
The
said,
jump from Tourette's to Goat Boy.
right. So check this out. So I said when he's nervous around women and when he sings, it comes out. So if he likes a chick, he'll be like, "Hey man, I think you're really beautiful." And so there's no rhyme or reason why he had this. And then that led to him singing. And the first song was "Start Spreading the News." And then It didn't. Everyone looked at me like I was nuts.
Really? In the room, they didn't love it?
They thought I was psychotic. About
Like,
a
Jim's
year.
lost his mind.
About a year later, they tried it as Go Boy sings 80s songs, and it was only a 2-minute thing. And so it's just me going, you can dance if you want to, you can, your friends behind, and shout, let it all out. These, so that ended the first season I was on. The second season, Tom Hanks is on, and the guy that did it with me goes, I swear to God, he goes, all right, you know the goat thing? All right, what if the government had a secret weapon, but it failed, so now they're stuck with this poor half goat thing, and so, but he loves singing songs, so he only sings 80 songs because that's his program do, and then VH1 gives him a show, and it's called Goat Boy. Hey, remember the 80s, but hosted by Goat Boys, and
I would have been like, what?
I went, what?
I'm all over it.
I said, no. They're like, yeah, we're going to put you with a hoof. I went, what?
So hilarious.
And little did we know it would turn into this.
It's,
One of the
and
greatest of all
20
time.
years later, we're laughing.
Oh,
25
dude,
years
one of the
later, I'm still
greatest
laughing.
of
That was
all
23 years
time.
ago. 23 years ago.
So stupid.
And when you're drinking from at one point they cut away at Tom Hanks. We all lost it. At one point, to cut away with Tom Hanks, and you're like, you're drinking off, I think, from an udder or something.
I can't
Yes.
believe we
So
can't find the Tom
outrageous.
Hanks one. You
Dude.
typed in Tom Hanks, Goat Boy?
I saw something,
If
but
you
I
can
didn't.
figure out the conspiracy why all the Goat Boys are missing,
Honestly,
please explain.
Your cast was amazing, Jim. You had one of the...
Molly was a powerhouse.
Oh
Sherry
my
O'Terry
God,
was a
Molly
powerhouse.
Sherry.
Will
Oh my-
Ferrell, beyond superstar.
Yeah, I mean-
Tracy Morgan, belly laughing funny.
Do you still-
Daryl Hammond.
Oh, my God. I saw Daryl the other night at the Comedy Store.
Oh, good for him.
so good.
I miss him.
Yeah. Do you stay connected with everyone or not really?
Not really.
You know,
Who does, though? You like, everyone's so busy. It's not
like
that you don't
working-
like them, but it's like when you're not in the same lane, like when you're not striving for the same
What are
thing,
you
or
gonna
like
do, just
work,
call
and work, like you got family. It's like,
Yeah.
what do
And
you do? Call them?
And I left the world after this.
What do you
Once
mean?
I was done. I was done with Hollywood, done with the rats. I was done.
Why?
you wanna
why,
do
was exhausted.
stand-up?
Why would-
stand up?
explain it, Jim.
The show, the lead up to Senate Live was so exhausting, just mentally. I already had it. I had an.
It takes the fun out.
I had. It took a lot of fun. It took I had vengeance towards
You had a chip on your
Hollywood and I had a major chip on
Why
my
was it-
shoulder, and
but-
I'm
but
not
first
a
of all,
chip on my shoulder guy.
You were on Saturday Night Live for how long?
3 years.
And then you get done. Why do you have a chip on your shoulder? Why was the chip so big?
It was the lead. This is the long lead up. So when I first when I started doing stand up, it was in high school. But then when I got serious was 1989. It was on and off, and then 1989 I went, "This is what I'm doing."
And how old were you in '89?
18.
No, 18 and 85. So like 21 years old. I go, "This is what I'm doing forever."
Okay.
And I was living in Florida. So I'm touring around as a comedian and then worked my way to a middle act, 30 minutes. And then I knew it was time doing a road. And then I knew it was time to go to New York, LA. Went back to New York where I'm from. And I got in TV pretty quick. I got first I was on a show called the Uptown Comedy Club, which was filmed in Harlem, which is where me and Tracy Morgan first met.
Oh wow.
Tracy Morgan, when I met him on the Uptown Comedy Club, he would always show up with those hats, almost like the way Spanky wore in Little Rascals.
Yeah.
But it had a little propeller on top. And he would come in for hours. We'd get nothing done because he would just come in and rant for an hour. I was on the subway and I saw my man. She was an old mama, and mama had this bottle next to her, and she was raging. She was raging against her children. And there was a homeless man sitting next to him, and he would go, and you
God,
just
he's
watch him. He was so
wonderfully odd.
and he would put in these crazy details that would paint the picture, and he was so funny. So after that show, then me and Chappelle were up for
Baked or whatever.
no, it was before Half Baked. Me and him, I had a huge development deal with NBC. He had a huge deal with HBO, Dave, and at the last second we got pulled from our deals so we can together be on this Disney show called Buddies.
Interesting.
And we were on the cover of TV Guide. The commercial's on. It was a spin-off of Home Improvement.
Wow.
So we went on Home Improvement, and then the second episode, while my commercials, I flew my best friends out for the premiere, and I got fired
That's how it works.
in the middle of the second episode.
Why?
Because Hollywood, because show business.
Never. The most frustrating thing was I never.
They don't tell you.
Yeah, like, did I suck? Did I?
No,
Whatever the reason was.
Yeah.
So it's lottery tickets taken away. So from there,
That makes you upset.
oh no. So from there, I mean, it's devastating,
For sure. Business, though.
and it's business.
Yeah.
And then you're frustrated because before that, I was with I want to say his name was Pollock. He was Will Smith's producer for that show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and signed this deal with NBC so they can develop. I met Will Smith, and like, this is going to be great. So to get pulled from that, to break that contract so we can guarantee go on the air with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle was pulled from HBO. He was banned from HBO.
Jesus.
There was a big lawsuit
Yeah.
Why was
Now-
he banned? I can't remember.
because he broke the deal.
broke the deal.
He had the original Chris Rock deal, which was 2 1-hour specials and his own talk show. And he was only 20, 21.
Jesus Christ.
So then now I get fired from that for whatever the reason.
Okay.
2 days later, Fox says, "Oh, we're upset that can you audition for us today?" And I auditioned. It was Herman's Head or something, whatever the show is.
Actually-
and I got it.
I like that shit.
And I got it.
Yeah.
I got the show. And Disney at the time said, "You're not allowed to do it because we don't have a contract with Fox and you're still with us."
Jesus.
So now I'm trapped. So I get fired and now I can't even get work. So I'm rage
still
against the
on the
machine, and then that goes, and then they say it's going to be a pickup, and then it doesn't get picked up, and then I got Clerks, and then from Clerks they fired Chris Smith. He couldn't be part of the project, and then we picked it up, and then they didn't pick it up, and they fired the star, and it was just so it was nonsense. And then Saturday Night Live came.
But how many did you audition just once? Or did you do
Oh no, I was the
5,
last
6
guy.
times.
I was the last guy hired. So I
6 times. You go through 6 usually, right? And then you test. You go in. You come back. You do it for producers. You fucking.
How many did you do, Jim?
You know.
Here's what I did. I auditioned, and I didn't want to audition. I said, "Oh no. I know some people that are on there, and it made them ugly. Like changed made them ugly people."
It's like being president, yeah.
And so, with that, I auditioned, and the next day in the newspaper, it said, "Saturday Night Live searching for an all new cast nationwide." All those already written off. Comedian Jim Breuer, who had 2 sitcoms go bust on him in a mat. And I went, "What? No one knows who I am. Why would you? Why would you write that in a newspaper? What? Well, it was, and everyone's like, man, I can't believe they wrote that. And why? And then they asked me to go back. I'm like, why am I going to go back? They clearly, they already wrote it in the
they
paper.
leaked that, yeah.
And then I went back, and then they met with me, and then that was awkward. And then
What did you do in your audition? Did you do characters?
I don't even remember. I honestly
Some people
don't.
do like multiple characters, and then
You're
some
talking
people
about
just
SNL?
do one. Yeah.
Usually, right?
I
is-
don't
was
even remember.
Isn't it 5 characters? I know with Mad TV it was like 5 characters.
I wasn't good at the characters.
Yeah.
I really wasn't. Not for the audition. I don't think
gotcha.
I was. So eventually, I was the last guy hired, and
Were you stoked when you found out the news?
no, I was exhausted. I was completely exhausted.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know if I really had it.
Because the whole process you were exhausted. with?
Yeah, and then right before I got it, there was I remember meeting, and I was told, there's a lot of people here that are not fans of you being on the show, and there's a lot pulling for you. So,
Thank you.
as
like
thankful
though,
as that's
isn't it?
truthful,
And not only
it's-
that, and SNL, correct me if I'm wrong, you can be fired any minute.
yeah.
Rightfully
Any
so, though.
fucking minute. Yeah,
that's-
rightfully
that's-
so.
But
Any
it's,
job,
you just
really.
you never have job security. You're never
That's
if you
the
don't
business,
start
isn't it?
doing more characters. But that's why they put out monsters.
Yeah, that the pressure. Like same with sports.
Yeah,
Right.
Score 0 points.
100%.
Or
Right.
lose fights. You don't have a job.
100%.
Right.
100%.
So
It just creates a tempo in your body and your mind though. Even when you get the job, you're never relaxed, right?
You're never relaxed. And then, so once I got it though, I loved the environment. It was frustrating, but so worth it when you hit that home run.
Yeah.
And then in-house, it was, it's frustrating. This writer is paying your ass, and this guy doesn't like you. And it's just...
And then how'd you know it was time to leave SNL? When you left there, you had a big chip on your shoulder just because
I was exhausted. There was... the guys that pushed me to be on left towards the end of the second season I was on. And my hand to God, their words to me are like, Jim, we quit. This guy, Fred Wolf and Steve Corrin, they quit. And they said, good luck, man, because they're coming at you. I went, who's coming at me? Dark kid, he's coming at you. I don't want to say who. But, and then I realized that last year, like, oh my God.
Some people are.
Oh my God.
Some people are Machiavellian, right? And you never expect it. You're like, what?
And then so that battle and the stories go on and on and on, and I'm past them all and healed from it all. But
I bet.
But I've had friends who've gotten fired from that show.
Yeah.
And after 5-6 years, and like it's 6 years, right? And nobody tells you. You just hear from your agent that
That's
from
over.
the press.
Oh, I actually got to talk to Lauren,
Oh, you did?
which is incredible.
So did they let you go or you decided to leave?
Here's exactly how it went down.
This is with Lauren.
The whole thing.
Yes.
At the end of the third season, I got a call from an NBC executive. And he said, Jim, what happened this year? And what are you talking about? He said, so-and-so and so-and-so are doing everything they can to get you fired. What? Now, I knew exactly who he was talking to. And I went, I can't.
Is it cast members or
Writers.
Writers.
God, that's terrible.
And so I went, what? And so I go, I don't know. He's like, man, I'm just telling you, this is what. So I called each one. One wouldn't take my call. One did. And he was like, oh no, boo-boo. The Hollywood talk. Hey, pal, you're my guy. Actually, we're trying to get someone else fired. He goes, no, not you. I don't know. Now, and the NBC executive said, I can get fired for telling you this.
Yeah, I bet.
This is on my
guy.
kids' lives. This is a true story. So I knew this other guy was a problem. So I went to my reps and went, I don't want to be on that show anymore if he's the main person. It's not worth my health and mind. It's just not worth it. Am I going to lose out on a great show and all that? No work environment is worth that in my mind. And so Lorne talked to me and he said, Jim, why don't you have dinner with the guy? I said, I'll try. And it wasn't working out. And then Lauren, and I asked to be released. And Lauren said, Jim, if you ever need anything, call me. I'm your guy. And you're too nice for this business. You're just too nice for this business.
Jesus.
And that's what the great Lauren Michaels said to me. And I've always had the highest respect for him.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
brilliant.
And some people would
Whatever he does, he does. I mean, you can say whatever you want. That guy is a genius.
He's
And he's one of
brilliant.
the great comedic figures of the 20th century.
And
maybe
so-
the greatest in some ways, as far as a facilitator, producer, understanding what works, how to make great people. He creates greatness out of people.
And he also creates that environment where you either sink or swim.
Oh well, that I don't know if you had the audition. The audition process I've heard from people like Amy Poehler and Taron Killam. I mean, it's the audition process.
Mark Maron has a great
like the
story
Navy
about it.
SEALs.
I had a part of McMurray and I told him because I had the key to Mark. When I went on Mark's show, Lauren asked me, he pulled me in the room. They said, Lauren wants to talk to you. Oh, okay. And I sat down and Lauren asked me about two different people that he wanted to hire. One was Mark Maron. and he said, Jim, what do you think of Mark Maron? And my exact words were, now this was then, I said, well, a lot of people don't like him. And I said, I don't like him either. However, if you're talking about hiring him for the update desk, I think he'd be one of the best. Yeah. I go, but as a person, I can't stand him.
He was just difficult back then, right?
He was a dick.
Yeah, that's what I've never heard a good thing about him back
dick.
then. Yeah.
He was the biggest.
He admits it though.
And that's the thing. He admitted it. When I went on a show and we talked about it.
Yeah. I think he was very insecure back then. Like, that's what I always got.
Yeah. And why that would drive people like me nuts, because I'm always
You're an open book.
I'm an open book, and I'm all for one for all.
Me too.
You beat me out.
Right now?
Yeah.
Watch your tone.
Okay. What's going to happen? What are you going to do? Use some of that boxing you've been doing?
Don't you fucking disrespect.